Hi, everyone. Welcome to Film Juice.
What's going
Hi,
on?
John.
Hey,
I'm Mike. We're going to talk about some spooky movies for your Halloween season right now.
and we got my wife here too.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Abby. This is
Hi.
Abby. And we're going to do that right now. We're just going to start talking about movies. Ready? Okay, ready, go.
I feel like we're in an episode of Blue's Clues or something.
You already lost. You already lost. That's 10,000. 10,000, you're down.
Oh man,
Right, go again. Go again. Go again.
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's 20,000. Johnny, come on. All right, ready? All right, 1, 2, go.
I didn't know I was in a game show,
All
Mike.
right, that's 32,000 somehow. All right, ready, go. All right, go. Ready?
I'm not ready, Mike.
All right, that's 42,000 I'm taking from you before taxes. And there's no legal recourse, so don't bother. I'm just telling you that. Yeah, man. It's all good. You just have to pay me $40,000 by midnight tomorrow.
Good luck, babe.
Hey, when did this turn into a game show?
Yesterday.
I thought we were here to talk about movies.
Yeah, we're talking about game shows today on Film Juice. But yeah, so we're going to talk about Addams Family 1
And Addams Family Values.
and what else you got?
And Halloween Ends.
And Halloween Ends. And then all I've got is like the stupid movie called Dark Glasses, which was directed by Dario Argento, which I thought was going to be good. And it sucked. So instead, I watched Maniac by William Lustig from 1980. And it was infinitely better as a horror movie. Johnny, tell me about the Addams Family.
So I hadn't seen this movie in years. I remember seeing it as a kid and enjoying it overall. And so Abby had never seen it before.
Never.
What?
Never seen it, and I loved it. Actually, when we were watching it, we didn't even finish it in the first, we didn't finish it in one sitting.
Oh yeah.
So, but I remember because it was getting really late and we had work the next day, but I remember just thinking, and I told Jonathan the next day, I was like, I need to know what happens to Veska. I was like, I need to know if he's really a part of the Addams family or if he's an imposter. I wanted to know so bad. So it actually had me really intrigued.
Yeah, I felt the same way too. So it has a running time of 99 minutes, but it felt longer.
It felt pretty padded, yeah.
Like it was almost 2 hours, right? It felt like that.
It
was more padded than
ish.
it was long. It was more padded than Christopher Lloyd's suit.
It's funny because Abby didn't even realize it was him until I said
I didn't
later.
realize when I was little. I didn't recognize. I didn't recognize that it was him. And I had seen Back to the Future a ton of times, and I didn't recognize Christopher Lloyd as Fester.
Yeah, they did great makeup on him, on all of them.
Angelica Houston, yeah, and yeah, pretty much everyone.
Yeah,
I thought he looked so freaky, dude. Like as a kid, and I started to remember it as I was watching it, and I felt the same way. Like even today, I was like, man, this guy's disturbingly freaky.
they all are. Their humor and everything.
I just felt so
like
bad for him too.
He's like a stubby Nosferatu.
A stubby Nosferatu.
Kind of. He's all pale. He's got the rings around his eyes.
Is it Fester or Fesker?
Fester.
Pester. Like,
Oh yeah, he
like
is
a,
like a stubby.
like a
Nosferatu.
wound.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Like a wound, right? Like it
Yeah.
festers.
Festers. Okay.
It's funny how so him and Gomez have their first name could be like a last name.
Yeah.
Gomez Addams,
Gomez
Fester
Addams.
Addams.
Here comes Fester coming to this seemingly normal family. Normal in that they're weird, but they're not screwing light bulbs into their mouths. Until Fester comes along and tell me if you understood the timeline. Because
So it gets a little wonky as the story goes on. Because I think it helps in some ways because you really believe that he isn't part of the family. Like it so he has a mother, this psycho possessive mother who likes to use him as her like
well, let's not be
basically her
biased here,
dog.
John. Let's not be
Huh?
biased here. She's just a mother concerned about her child.
She's like a witch, this lady. And she uses him to haggle her lawyer for money that he apparently owes her, and Fester just has this enormous amount of strength, just like Gomez, and agility, and so the lawyer is also the Addams family lawyer, and he recognizes Fester's face from a painting that he saw in the family's home.
Right, yeah.
And-
Fester immediately looks like somebody from the family.
Yeah.
Like
And-
really? Exactly.
And so the only thing is that when the lawyer sees Fester has hair. He has a lot of curly hair, like a full head of curly hair. But he comes up with this idea that, hey, you can pretend to be Gomez's brother who has been missing for 25 years. The mother just
I'm sorry to cut you off here.
Oh, what's up?
You remember Coneheads?
Yeah.
Wasn't that like the same plot?
I don't remember the plot to that movie. So the mom thinks it's a great idea, and so they shave Fester's curly hair off and put him in some weird like monk suit, I guess. And it's just like what's that material, baby? It's like a ugly, like it looks so uncomfortable.
I don't even know
Like a
how I would
velvet?
describe it. No. It's like it's really
looks itchy.
it's a tough fabric, like almost
Yeah.
like a potato sack, but it's not a potato sack.
Like a crunch velvet.
It's like something that would go to that backpack that you had.
Like
It's
the
like
inside of it?
it's like a tapestry, like a tablecloth almost. That's what kind of
Like it kind of folds and it stays that way?
yeah, like there's no stretch, there's no
It's like starch.
softness. It's real stiff.
Yeah.
So they dress him up, send him to the Addams family house, and they accompany him, and basically claiming that, hey, we found your brother. He was out in the ocean or something. We found him at some
Yeah.
like washed up on some beach, and the mother is posing as a doctor who has helped him remember his past, and that's how they got him to the Addams family.
Well, noted. They were summoning him.
Oh yeah, that's right. So there is a scene where the Addams family is like doing this what is it called, like a ritual or
witchcraft, basically. I mean, they're
Yeah.
summoning him from God knows where.
It's like the 25th anniversary of his brother's that his brother's been missing, and that's when he appears at the door, right? Fester appears at the door.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
at that exact moment. Emphasis on why, for me as a person who had never seen it before, was like, okay, maybe this is legit him, and the story's going to unravel and explain why it's actually him, but we can get to that more later. It was really confusing.
Yeah, and so apparently originally they wrote it to where it wasn't him.
Yes. Yeah, we watched
It's like a featurette.
The extras at the end. We watched it. I was really shocked that they wrote it that way and then they rewrote the ending. And
I mean, it would be interesting if it wasn't him.
Yeah, it would be because it would make you wonder, or it's just yeah, it'd be weird.
Who played Wednesday? What was her name?
What's her name? Richie. What's her name? Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci. Yeah, well, they were saying that she came up with like so many valid reasons with why it didn't make sense that he wasn't Fester. And I mean, that summoning scene, to me, that's a legit reason. There's also like a part where they're having like a party for Fester and he knows this like dance that
Mamushka.
Gomez knows. And he's able to swallow the sword and everything. And it's like,
yeah,
how could you
don't
do
get me
that?
started on the dance because there's no way he would even know. And I felt like that was a pretty strong turning point in the movie for him to be like, yeah, I am an Addams.
Yeah.
Right.
And then even like the kids in the play, like the way he was into the gore and like just being like this creative uncle with them. Like, it was just like, that's a little too specific. Like, you're a little too, like, I feel like you're truly their uncle and you're realizing it inside.
Yeah.
You know? So
it was smart of the movie to keep on that course.
Yeah, definitely.
And so yeah, it was a fun movie. It's very disturbing. It's a dark humor. But it's like a PG-13 dark humor though.
Yeah, it's definitely PG-13.
And so yeah, it did take it took me a minute at least to kind of like remember like, oh yeah, this is because you have like there's a brother and sister part of the Addams family, and like they're constantly trying to kill each other, and so one's electrocuting the other in an electric chair.
Oh, and they keep coming out of each other's rooms like, Posey didn't take to this one, or Wednesday she got up too soon or whatever, the knife didn't stab her.
Yeah, I think there's even a part where like the mom is like, Wednesday has a knife and she's like, is that for your brother? And she like takes it away and she gives her like an even huger
worse thing
knife or an axe or something.
Oh,
like,
it's a mace.
Yeah, there's some scenes too where they're selling, it's supposed to be a lemonade stand, but it's a poison stand.
Oh yeah.
Trying to make some extra money because they get, or no, am I thinking of the second one?
I think that's the second one.
Oh, or no, it's the first one. It is the first one. I get it mixed up in my head, but yeah, it's the first one. And yeah, so they like attempt to try and kill like a Girl Scout
That girl's
by their stand. Yeah. And but yeah, so there's you get used to the humor though, and it's interesting to me. I was thinking about like, wow, like how did this show survive back in the day? Because I think it was in the 50s when the original
50s or 60s. It was I mean, the Addams Family existed before the Munsters did because of the drawings.
And that's right, because it was a
comic
drawings.
Strip.
Okay.
So yeah, it existed before the Munsters. As a TV show, it existed, I think, after the Munsters. So that drew a lot of comparisons.
Yeah, it says 19 Addams Family television series 64 to 66.
Okay. So yeah, also you had some of those actors showing up in the Batman series. John
Really?
Aston. I think John Aston played. I'm doing this without looking. John Aston played Gomez. He also played the Riddler in Batman.
And this is from the show?
The Adam West Batman.
But the Gomez from the show or from the movie?
Oh, from the show.
Oh, okay. Wow. I think I liked all the like the sets and stuff. It reminded me a lot of what's his name? You like him a lot, baby.
Wait.
Nightmare Before Christmas and
Oh, Tim Burton?
Tim
Burton.
Burton, yeah.
Yeah.
The sets and everything.
Yeah, if you look at the old cartoons, like the old drawings and stuff, like you'll see like it's directly pretty much almost an exact.
I mean, when did Dracula come out?
I don't know.
I mean, people have been into like this old creepy horror so for quite a while. 1897. Dang.
The book, yeah. The novel.
That doesn't surprise me that it like the show did well and the movie, you know. Seems like
All right, sorry guys.
Yeah, I guess horror had been around. Abby was talking about how Dracula had been around since 1897. The novel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And
people have had a fascination for witches and stuff for a long time.
Like great Gothic architecture and
Yeah.
dark imagery.
Yeah.
I love their attire and everything too.
They're always dressed up. They're always dressed for a funeral.
I think they mentioned yeah, this is the second one. No.
Oh yeah, that is in the second one. They mentioned to Wednesday.
And she looks like she's dressed for a funeral.
I was trying to think of how this movie would be made today if there were a live action one. But yeah, I gotta say, like the 90s was a good time to remake this because you still didn't have like cell phones, you still didn't have the internet. You could still like everything they used was still
Like modern to them.
like a step away from exactly. Like they had an old car, but it was, people just still drove cars. And everything was still pretty close to the era that they kind of dress and kind of still live in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they didn't look. Yeah, I felt like if they were like they would stick out even more today, I guess is what I was thinking. Like they would stick out even more like a sore thumb and set in, the year 2022.
Well, it is technically now because Wednesday just came out on Netflix.
Oh, it's out already?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, if it's not, I'm pretty sure it comes out this month. And honestly, it makes me want to watch that even more because
it should at least come out on a Wednesday.
November 23rd.
Oh, November. My bad.
Yeah.
Are you trying to see if that's on a Wednesday? It is on a Wednesday.
It is on a Wednesday. Yeah, the first one was definitely better in story than the second one overall.
Second one was shocking though. That one made me more nervous than the first one because they have their little baby brother that's born.
That they're trying to kill.
Right, Hubert.
Can we slide into that? Yeah, they're like dropping him from the second story. Like they're doing all this, trying to drop.
I mean, nowadays you can't make that joke, but
You
Jeez,
literally
like
can't.
they had it in spades back then. Like they show little every time something horrible happens, little babies like cooing into the camera, and it's like, well, I can't feel bad about that because the baby is happy. So baby's happy, I'm happy.
And he has a little mustache like
He's got a little
Gomez.
mustache, yeah.
He's so cute.
They had to use deer glue to put that under the baby's mustache because of the certain sweat that babies excrete. So they had to put deer glue, and that actor actually has a permanent scar
What?
from. I'm just kidding. That's all a lie.
Oh, I was like, dang, that's horrible. Poor child.
Funny thing is, the son, he smokes a cigar at the camp.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I can't believe they got away with that. Pugsley?
Oh yeah. Did he smoke a real cigar?
Well, I mean, no, he didn't. I mean, I would think he didn't, but it looks full on real, and his dad's like lighting it and everything, and they're just all at a camp together, dropping off the kids, and all these just like hippie families and hippie camp leaders are just dancing around them. Who was so in this one? Fester is the center of the movie too, with Cusack, with Joanne Cusack, and she's trying to marry Fester so she can have his fortune and kill him. And
I'm so surprised that was her. I just think of School of Rock every time I see her. She looked like a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
other person.
But yeah, as her like this bimbo wannabe heiress, I thought she was pretty good.
she did a really good
Like
job.
she played it pretty well, and I remember having a crush on her when I was a kid.
I think that's literally what Jonathan said
Yeah.
as we were watching it.
Well, she's all like blonde and like big old boobas.
I never see her like that again because School of
No,
Rock, I just think of her
She
as this,
never really
like,
played that character ever again.
never ever again.
I wonder why.
I don't know why, because she could have made bank on us right now. We'd be like, ching ching ching, and show us that cleavage, girl. Ching ching ching.
I love the camera work on both the movies. I think the first one sticks out a little bit more, but how they light up the wife's face, Morticia, like with the camera, they make it in a certain way where whenever she's in the scene, you just see a light go across her eyes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, her character was really.
I didn't realize this
Cool.
before. I don't know why, or I don't know. I don't remember thinking about it, but that she's a witch and that she enchanted Gomez to love her the way he does. I don't know if I didn't catch that as a kid, but did you catch that, sweetie, in the movie?
Honestly, I didn't, but now that you're saying that, it kind of makes sense because I guess like I don't know, I can't remember the blonde lady's name, but I mean, she was like, you must have him under a love spell. I respect that. Like, and it's like, oh, well, that's why you respect it.
And so, yeah, so he always wants to make out with her.
Oh my gosh. It's so uncomfortable the way
there
they
are some scenes, yeah, where
they're
like they're even in public. Yeah. They're at this auction in the first movie, and Gomez bids on some family item that they were donating for some fundraiser at this auction, but he buys it. He buys the item that he donated, and he pays like, I don't know, like 500,000 or something like that, or 50,000. And then they just start making out there. It somehow turns on wife, and they just start making out, and yeah, I guess it's just implied that they go pretty far.
Yeah, they're like moaning basically. Just
Oh
like-
god.
It's funny though. Like
Mhm.
it's just very extreme, but it's funny.
Did they show off like Cousin It in the new ones?
Cousin It makes more of an appearance in the second one, a little bit more, but not too much. I remember Cousin It though in the show. The show I think had Cousin It on regularly, but
You know, it's funny too. They have some stuff that, like, again, as we mentioned earlier, totally wouldn't socially be acceptable. Like this whole Thanksgiving scene going on at camp as well. Like with them lighting the pilgrims on fire and stuff. Very dark humor.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Totally wouldn't get away with that today.
But Fester, he's a little more dumb in the second one, I would say. He's a little more like comedic.
Yeah, I thought they were playing like his naivety from the first one.
I don't know.
Because he was I don't know, I didn't see him as being insecure, like because he found himself in the first one. You think he'd be
A little bit smarter.
more confident. And when he's in the second one, he's like he felt like he couldn't even get a woman at all.
I mean, I guess there was like the twins or something in the first one, but those were like strange people. Like this is like this Barbie, you know,
Yeah.
in comparison to his family. So to feel kind of like strange and odd makes sense, you know?
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't.
But he did just feel it in general. Remember, he was talking to Gomez saying, "You know, you're such a lucky man. I peeped through the window and the door. You and Morticia, I want what you all have, and the kids and everything, and that was before he saw her. Saw what's her name? Debbie.
Well, he can want what they have, but still be like not fully confident, you know?
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying it just, I don't know. It didn't feel right to me, I guess.
I would have had to see him like date a lot more or something, you know? Because I feel like I don't know anything about his love life.
And then at the end, so it turns out he finds out that Debbie is trying to kill him, but he's unkillable.
That's actually really hilarious because she just thinks he's going to be this guy who's like so easy to kill, like by boxing up dynamite, dropping something electric in the bathtub. Like
very cartoon character-y deaths. I hadn't noticed that.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It is funny, and she's just like baffled because he's surviving all these like bizarre things that would kill like an average person, and he like for him it's fun. It's like, oh yeah, like I'm into this. Well, Gomez was throwing knives at him at the beginning of like the second movie, like he was upside down on the wall.
They're, like, immune to death in their universe.
Exactly, like they're used to that stuff. So she just didn't realize what she was getting herself into. Like she literally didn't know him. Otherwise, I don't think she would have did what she did, you know?
And
yeah, I agree with that. Like they're probably in like some weird or like a state of death, like some carbon monoxide poisoning. But they get to stay in their haunted house for, as long as they want.
Eternity.
Or, if they figure out what a TV show is, they can stay for a season.
I feel like the second one, though, I was more prepared for the humor. So in some ways I enjoyed it a lot too.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
more prepared for it. It still caught me off guard, a lot of it though. It was just like, did they really say that? Did they really just do that? Like that's how I felt, I think, watching both of the films.
Well, at
Yeah.
the end of the Thanksgiving dinner, I always feel like, did they eat those people? Did they
Oh
just
yes, because they actually legit have like the camp host or whatever
Over a fire.
over a freaking
over a
fire.
fire?
I was like, I can't believe they
So it's like,
showed that.
did they really cook these people and did they eat them? And I think that was intentional for the movie. It was like to leave it in your head, like, could they have done this? And the answer is yes. They could have done this, but you're putting in my head now. So
Yeah, they did a lot of crazy stuff in that scene.
Yeah, these are good ones to have. Definitely set the vibe of like creepiness and still be family friendly, I would say, in that setting. Um, Good for a fun movie night too.
Especially if you've never seen it.
Yeah, if you've never seen it, man, you're gonna trip out. And they're very unique. I want to say that too. They're very unique. I don't see anything like this. Like because I can't compare this to anything really. Again, it is dark humor, but it's not. It's in a like in a family kind of setting that. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that's like that. Can you, Mike?
no, not off the top of my head.
Like I could see this playing in the background on Halloween night, for instance.
Yeah.
Or if you have a screen outside.
You might
10/10 for me.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved it. I think this is like gonna be a new Halloween favorite for me,
Oh wow.
honestly. And that's like up there with Scream and like Halloween Town, like Halloween classics for me. Like this is a classic. I can see. Like I grew up hearing they're creepy and they're spooky, hilarious and kooky, and this is like the perfect little,
Jingle film.
Yeah.
Theme song.
I forgot what it was, like M&Ms or something, some sort of candy in the 90s. But I'm glad I saw it. It's up there for me. I wouldn't mind watching it every year.
Did you want to talk about your movies and then?
Oh, I didn't? Okay. Black Glasses was a horrible movie. It's called Dark Glasses. Don't watch it.
Did it just come out?
It just came out, like, I think on the 5th.
It's not the one with Winona Ryder, right?
No. But this was like kind of, it felt like, let's get it out there. However, you watching that other movie inspired me to go and watch Maniac.
Is it like really scary?
It's more of what's scary about it is more of the mentality of the killer and the way that he carries out the deaths.
Is it black and white?
No, but I would say if you're into just like it's not even borderline supernatural, but if you're into like a street level kind of abduction kind of story, then yes. If you're not into that, yeah, it's kind of a nightmare.
Like Psycho nightmare. Have you seen Psycho? Because Psycho really scared me, and that was creepy.
I would think that's worse.
Really?
I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre kicked off something pretty intense.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in forever. That first Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I've seen the TV version.
The TV version?
Like on FX.
The very original from the 70s?
No, like the newer version.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one too.
That is too much for me.
Okay, so Maniac Cop, or not Maniac Cop, sorry. Maniac was directed by the same director, though, of Maniac Cop.
Yes. You know what? As long as I have you here.
What?
I just want to make sure that I Got the right director.
So Maniac, he abducts someone and he's like a stalker too.
There's no rhyme or reason behind the abductions, but he does seem to like he prefers them to be like kind of dolled up. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes.
Oh joy.
So does he look like a maniac or is he
No, he looks like it.
conspicuous?
And does he like talk to these people and like fool them?
Not really.
I see there's another one with what's his name?
Oh, from Lord of the Rings.
Elijah Wood. Oh, apparently there's a Maniac from 1963 as well. So would you recommend that one, Mike?
I would recommend it.
Now, the other movie we got to see was Halloween Ends.
Have you seen it already, Mike?
I haven't seen it at all.
Okay. Well, like, are you gonna see it?
I would like to, yeah.
I almost don't want to give too much away.
It's streaming.
No, I think it's already been spoiled for me.
Yeah, I think I spoiled it for him already.
You did?
No, he didn't. I think other people did.
Oh.
Was
Do you
it
know about the intro and everything?
Does he get crushed in a trash compactor?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
At the end.
Honestly, I think that the most shocking thing was the freaking intro.
Yeah, it was.
Like, because we literally saw this at, well, his parents.
Yeah.
And we had like family over, and there was like, what, 12 of us watching this all together. And literally, like, within the first like 8 to 10 minutes, we were all like, literally, like, like we all gasped and like looked at each other. We're like, what the heck? Like, I think that was the most intense thing of the whole movie. Was like the first 10 minutes. Like, I was so caught off guard. I don't think any of us were expecting that to happen. And then the rest of the movie kind of came predictable. Like,
yeah, you could follow it, but it wasn't like a Halloween movie though. You could follow this, like you could tell what's gonna happen in the story a bit, but it was still, I like that it at the same time it wasn't, you couldn't tell how people were gonna die necessarily.
No, that you couldn't. I guess it wasn't fully predictable. There were some things that I felt like I started to predict. But.
Yeah, that one definitely more intense in gore and death from that aspect.
Yeah,
killings and stuff.
Everything.
You know, you got your stabbing, of course, in every Halloween, but yeah, there's in the beginning a kid dies, and the way that they die is very like shocking,
very dramatic, very shocking, very like I did not think he was going to die.
Yeah.
If anything, I thought the older guy was going to die.
Right.
Like you're like, oh, something's gonna happen to him. Like the kid's gonna kill him, or Michael Myers is gonna come into the house and like
kill the babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little kid's playing a prank on the babysitter, and it just all goes wrong, and the kid ends up dead. And
in a very dramatic way.
And the parents walk in, and
like the moment it happens,
and they accuse the babysitter of killing him, and that changes the babysitter's life. He's a teenager, like an older teenager, and it changes his life for the worst, and it follows him throughout the rest of the movie. And he comes into contact with Michael Myers, and there's an evil that's transmitted from Michael Myers into this kid. And
this kid, the teenager.
Yeah.
The babysitter.
And so he's kind of like he's bullied and stuff, right? And
trying to do good. Trying to stay out of trouble.
And apparently these band kids are like the biggest bullies in town. These high school band kids. He meets up with the girl from the last movie, which is It's the granddaughter of the main character. I forget her name.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah. So her granddaughter, they end up falling in love. Her and the babysitter kid, and yeah, and it's kind of like this romance of like wanting revenge on the town, and it's kind of weird because she knows what he's been through, but I guess some people in the town call her a freak too, and she kind of encourages him to his ideas of like and thoughts that he shares with her, like burning the city down and leaving, and she encourages that, and she doesn't know though that he's going around killing all these people. And so it all comes to a climax, and he eventually tries to kill her grandmother, who has been on to him and kind of just sensed the evil that was in Michael Myers in him. And she's writing a book at the time too about her life and her experience. And yeah, so this kid, you see Michael Myers too, he's real old and he's beat up and
Like super
doesn't have the same
old.
Yeah, he like you can tell that like his one of his knees is hurting, and there's different scenes where he falls to the ground and it's hard for him to get back up, stuff like that.
I don't even know how he was still going, honestly.
I know
They make him
right?
seem
Just-
like so weak in the beginning. It's
And
almost like,
then-
where did he get this like energy and strength from?
at the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end he ends up killing the guy that he gave his power to, or some of his power to, and he attempts to kill Jamie Lee Curtis's character, and they go all out. Like fridge is thrown on him, he's stabbed multiple times, and his throat is slit, and he keeps just going. And she eventually kills him, and then throws him in a trash compactor with the whole town to witness.
Yeah, they tie him on top of the cop car too.
And drive him through town all the way to the car dump. And so it seems pretty definitive, like a definitive ending, because there was no cutscene after the credits or anything like that.
Yeah, not even like somebody taking his mask and like
I was thinking the same thing.
you would think somebody, right? Like, yeah, Michael Myers is dead. Yeah, that kid also
Who-
is.
And he actually did steal his mask as well. Like a third of the way through the movie, he stole
Yeah.
Michael Myers' mask, but Michael Myers retrieved it and killed him.
Yeah, but you would think there's still that one crazy person who likes this,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. And so I'm sure when they do bring it back, which they probably eventually will, it will be somewhere along those lines, I would think. But I thought it was all right. I thought it was all right overall. Has some creepy moments and shocking moments.
Yeah, it was okay. It was a little much.
Yeah, there are some. I mean, some of the killings are like blacked out. You know, fades to black or whatever.
Well, some of them I was glad that they did that because
Yeah, because there were
certain
several
people he came after that I was like, please don't show that, and thankfully they didn't. But there were some that they showed, and I was like, I had to turn away because I was like, no, thanks. I was just watching everybody else's reaction.
Yeah, and it shows his pleasure in killing, and
I
I think it's I think that it's fair. I think it's fair.
I'm a big Scream person though. And I feel like the story for Scream is just so good that Michael Myers can't really compare, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, they're similar. I guess they're both slashers.
Yeah,
Um,
they're similar but different.
they are different. Yeah.
I don't think they fully showed his face.
Not fully, but you did see like the side. You do see the side of his face in this one.
Not the whole thing.
So yeah, that's what we've seen so far this October. These have been the spooky thrills of 2022.
Spooky thrills. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We are about to tune out, and we will catch you on another time.
I'm John.
Abby, thanks for letting me join.
And-
Good night.
Everyone have a good night. Have a good Halloween.